welcome to the Latah Valley Fiber Co podcast. My name is Tiffany. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a few items, one finish and a couple works in progress to share with you today. You can find me on Instagram at Latah Valley Fiber Co. You can check out my shop at latahvalleyfiberco.etsy.com. And if you want to direct message me, lvfiberco@gmail.com. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. Okay, so it is March, and my mojo was a little off for knitting the last couple of weeks. So I do have a finished object to share with you, and it was a little bit of a struggle, as you will have seen in the last video. So let's just start with it first, okay? This is a finished object. It's the Dandelion dress by Petite Knit. I started this back in February. Yes, the 4th. And I used my own hand-dyed yarn in sport weight. And I struggled a little bit with getting gauge, so I ended up knitting most of the dress and then had to pull it out and do some gauge swatching. I recast on February 12th with after gauge swatching, and I went down a couple needle sizes and then down a size in the dress pattern. So on 224 I realized even with that I wasn't going to have enough yarn. I used 2 skeins of the sport weight, which left me with a sleeveless dress. So here it is. Here's the front. The I-cord edging that was meant for the top here, and this little, what is this called? This has a name. I can't think of it off the bat, but there was an I-cord edging that they did on the neck, which I just duplicated down here on the sleeves, and I feel like it's fine. So I also bound off early. I didn't do all of the repeats, and then there was let's see, for the hem, I think you knit 20 rounds and then you folded it and sewed it down. I only did 10 total. So, yeah, so I finished it on February 25th. So I cast on the original dress on the 4th, and I finished the second attempt on the 25th. Now this is number 1 of several. So in one of my works in progress, I'm working on another one. So I do like this tweed. I think it makes the dress really pretty and gives it nice character. I do think though that the dandelion stitch here that she's doing is hidden because of the tweed. So you'll see, I've started that in my next dress, and you'll see that you can see it a lot better. So this is the size 3-4, so it'll be for one of my nieces. And it was fun. It was a fun project, even though I struggled a little bit with the gauge. So in the future, I will be gauge swatching. And in fact, I did do that with the next dress. I checked the gauge and found that I went down in yarn for what the pattern called for fingering weight. So I actually used fingering weight, but my stitch, I must be a looser knitter, because I hit gauge on the same needles that I did the bigger weight yarn with. So I just stuck with that needle size. That's it for that dandelion dress. Let's move on to works in progress. And I'll just start with this dandelion dress that I'm working on. I am using my own hand-dyed yarn in the Daisy Sweets. Again, this is fingering weight. And the needle size I'm using is 2.75. And I did cast on for the 4th size, which is the 3/4. And I'm in the middle of a round. Okay, here we go. So it's very pretty. I like the pink. Here's the start of the skirt, and you can see that those are showing up a lot better than in the tweed. So I hope that as the skirt goes along, it'll be really pretty. Keyhole. This is called a keyhole. So I'll do an I-cord up here as well, and then put a button along like what I did with the other one. I think that I may do this one sleeveless as well, not because I'm running out of yarn, but because I actually like that, the sleeveless. That way, if they wanted to, they could wear a long sleeve underneath it and have that peek out. So I may do that again, although this is fingering weight, it's lighter, so maybe the sleeves would be nice. The sport weight is just, it's heavier, so whoever gets this will be very warm. So, yep, there's the other dandelion dress. And I'm doing several of these, so, yeah, this is the 2nd, although technically the 3rd. With only one product. So I do love this yarn. It's my fingering weight sock base. It's very pretty. Lots of, it's pink, obviously, but there's bits of it that are lighter pink and bits of it that are darker pink. And I think it's showing up with a lot of character in the dress. So that's kind of fun. Okay, my next project is a pair of socks, and these are for my mother-in-law. She requested a pair of black socks with a what do you call that, instead of a cuff that's ribbing like 2x2 or 2x1 or 1x1, she wanted kind of a scallop on the top. So I did a bit of research. I hadn't ever done that before on a pair of socks. So I did a little bit of research. There are some socks out there. The one I picked was a picot edge. So you can see there, it's just a slight, it goes like this. So I hope that she will like that. The design of this particular picot edge is that you knit 10 rounds, you do the picot edge, you knit another 10 rounds, and then you sew it down here. So that's the cuff instead of a 2x2 rib or a 1x1. I do hope it's stretchy enough to go over her heel, and I think it'll be fine. So I've done the heel flap, gusset, decreases, and now I'm just knitting in the round to the toe. And I think I'm going to do her normal, which was 7 inches. Do I knit 7 inches before starting the toe? 7 inches was for me, so she's definitely less than that. I'm thinking it's 5.5. That could be wrong. 7.5. Oh, 6.5. Okay. 6.5 inches, and then I'll start the toe. And then I'll pick up and do the next sock. Now this is my colorway Booth. I have this in sock, which this is, and then I have it also in worsted and DK. So if you're interested in black yarn, you can check out my shop. I did use, now this is a shorty pair, obviously. I did the different cuff, and then I only knit 5 rounds. Did I? No, this says I knit 2 or 10. That's not right. Oh no. The cuff I knit 10, did the picot edge, did 10 rounds, and then sewed it down and then started knitting. Actually, I didn't sew it down. I picked up and knit the cast on round with that, and then just continue knitting. So then, yeah, I did a total of 1.5 inches before I started the heel, including the cuff. Okay. I haven't knit on these in a while, truthfully. I cast them on the 28th, and I haven't picked them up much since. Part of the problem is that this is fingering weight, but so is this dress. And you can only do so much fingering weight before your hands start hurting because it's small yarn, small needles. So I'll have to pick those back up. Those socks. Okay. My final project, and one I had hoped to have done but do not, is the Magnolia Bloom by Camilla Vad. Now I started this January 22nd, and I'm using my own hand-dyed yarn. It's the Booth colorway, and it's with my Superpower, which is the lace mohair. I'm using 6mm needles, but I cast on with the 6, but then when I reached the body, no, not the body. When I finished the collar here and started doing the yoke, I moved, which the pattern says to do, to a 7mm needle. So I did that for the rest, all the way to the body and then the sleeves. And then for the cuffs, you go back down to a size 6. So that's what I did for both sleeves. And they're both done. I just need to weave in the ends. Now, I had finished the whole sweater down, including the ribbing, and bound off on the bottom. And then I picked up and did the sleeves. When I tried it on, pre-blocking, it was short. And it's considerably short enough that I ripped out the ribbing, the bind off the ribbing, and I'm knitting several more inches before picking up and doing the ribbing again. I would feel more comfortable. I did what the pattern said, which was I think 13 inches from the sleeve, the arm hole. The arm, where your armpit is, you're supposed to do 13 inches. And I did do that, but it's still short for me. So I ripped that out. I'm knitting some more, and then I'll block it properly and weave in all the ends. So when I tried this on, oh, it is so soft. And yeah, it's lightweight, but very warm, which will be nice. And it's a little bit dressier of a sweater. Like today I'm wearing my cardigan. This is the GINNY by Andrea Mowry. And, you know, it's warm here. It's 60, but I feel very comfortable. I have a short sleeve on under here, but it's very comfortable to have this wearing it, even in 60-degree weather. So I think this will be even nicer because it'll be a little bit lighter, but fluffy and dressy. So that's coming along. I had hoped to have it done and wearing it today, but you know, things happen, and that's the benefit, I think, of making your own garments, whether you're knitting, crocheting, or sewing your own outfits. Is that you can sew them to your body, which a lot of times you can't buy for. So that's the story. All right, that's all I have for you today. I hope you all are doing well and gearing up for spring. I will see you in a couple weeks. And until then, happy knitting.